Does it feel like practice never pays off when you play actual music? Over 2 decades teaching beginners, I found 5 mistakes that are silently tripping up most drummers. So in this video, I'll show you how using simple research-proven tips will make your progress quicker, easier, and a whole lot more fun. To start, let me show you a mistake you'll see on just about every beginner drum tutorial and what you should be doing instead to avoid this incredibly common trap. If I want to become a public speaker, a good one, I wouldn't start by reading a whole bunch of books. I'd learn by speaking in the live environment. Now maybe that'd be in front of people, maybe it wouldn't be, but I could read books for months and months and months. When it came to actually speak, good luck with that one. The same goes for drums. Reading music isn't the same as playing music. Learning notation is a super valuable skill, but learning it right from the start is not only unnecessary, but it also adds an entirely separate skill on top of the one you haven't even begun to grasp yet. The science tells us that real skill is developed when you interact with the thing you're trying to achieve in the environment you're trying to achieve it in. This is based on something called ecological dynamics, which basically tells us you learn best by actually doing the thing you want to get good at. So if your dream is to play music, start by playing along with actual songs. That's where the real magic happens. With song-based practice, you start playing right away. And if you want some beginner challenges to kick things off, there's a free PDF in the description below. Just like reading a language won't make you a fluent speaker, reading drum notation won't make you a fluent musician. Mistake number 2, counting. Imagine someone trying to dance while counting every step instead of feeling the music. It looks awkward and unnatural, just like counting when you're playing drums. You've probably been told that counting is essential. I used to say the same thing, but there was always a disclaimer that came with it. It'll be harder, but it's better for you. Now I'm calling BS on that advice. Firstly, why in the world would we want to make a beginner's task harder? Drums are hard enough. And secondly, all the information you need is in the song you're trying to play. Last time I checked, you won't hear any counting in the music. This is a task that, much like notation, can be really useful one day, but in the beginning, it's much like teaching grammar to someone who hasn't yet learned how to spell. So instead of making things harder with numbers, listen to the music and identify the pulse, the steady beat you'd naturally tap your foot to. That's where the real learning starts. Maybe play your hi-hat on the pulse. And maybe line up some kicks and some snares. Get creative with it. You will learn faster when you discover and interact with the rhythms of your music rather than just reciting numbers. That way, your body can self-organize within the context of the song instead of trying to keep track of, well, math. Mistake 3, the rhythmic grid. Okay, for those of you unaware, there is a super common method where a teacher will have you learn every possible combination within a 16th note grid. I know because I was one of those teachers. You have your pulse, and you have 4 available spaces inside that pulse, usually counted 1 E and A. Each space could be a potential note, and you can add up to 4 notes in any combination. This is then used as a template to learn all possible combinations within a given exercise. For example, training your accents, you could be playing continuous alternating singles as ghost notes and accent every note in each combination. It's said this will unlock your coordination, creativity, and before you know it, you'll be playing anything imaginable within that given exercise. But here's the problem. The 16th note grid has 16 possible combinations within a beat. If you expand that over only 2 beats, you have 256 combinations to unlock. Expand that over 4 beats, your standard length of a bar of music, and suddenly you have over 65,000 possibilities. Imagine trying to master them all. It would take a lifetime, and you're still only getting good at playing that one exercise. Remember, real skill comes from playing drums in the real environment, playing music, not just patterns. If you practice the rhythmic grid in isolation, you miss out on the music itself. And as you have to start doing this with music from scratch at some point anyway, why not let a song guide you from the start? For the example of accents and ghost notes, pick a song, kick off your 16th ghost notes, and start trying to react with accents to what you're hearing in the track. Now you're practicing and interacting with real music, not just coordination challenges. You don't need all 65,000 combinations, nor will you ever. You just need the ones that appear in real songs, specifically the songs that you want to play, and therein lies your very own personalised musical journey. And if you want some challenges to get you started, there's a free link in the description below. Don't get me wrong, I love a practice pad. I've had one for decades and they're loads of fun. But playing one to develop skill on the drums is like running on a treadmill when your goal is to run cross country. You might build some stamina on a treadmill, but it won't prepare you for the mud, hills and wind of cross country running. That's where the real skill needs to be developed. I've seen drummers nail sticking patterns and techniques on a pad at blistering speeds, only to struggle to move the same thing around a drum kit. Different surfaces, different sounds, different skill. Abilities don't transfer just because they look similar. It needs something the science calls representative learning design. That is, your practice needs to reflect the live environment as much as possible for the greatest transfer of skill. If you want to play the kit, you need to practice on the kit. And if you're someone who feels you want to get it right on the pad first because it's easier and more comforting, believe me when I say making mistakes is a good thing. They're signals that your body is figuring out how to adapt. That's real progress. And you're going to have to experience that anyway, no matter how much pad work you do. Unless your dream is to join a marching drum corps, get those patterns straight on the kit where they matter. I'm probably going to get some flack for this one, if I haven't already. The click track, the good old metronome. Again, used one for decades. It definitely has its uses, but since switching to a song-based approach, I'm starting to question if it's the best tool. Think about this. Nobody listens to Jimi Hendrix, James Brown or the Beatles and complains that the tempo shifts. These songs breathe, they flow. When I'm playing live, I'd much rather have that same freedom. Sure, a click can be useful if you're trying to start at the right speed, especially when adrenaline levels are riding high, but once that song begins, do you really want to be locked in with the world's most boring percussionist? Here's the science. A click track is what's called an informational constraint. It forces you into a fixed tempo. That can obviously sharpen your timing and accuracy, and it can be essential for using things like backing tracks that are snapped to a grid, but it also removes the natural push and pull that makes music feel alive. In the early stages, let the music itself guide you. Most songs you hear were probably recorded to a click anyway, so you'll be developing timing just by locking in with them. And when a song isn't perfectly steady, even better. The little tempo shifts add variability, which the research shows makes you more adaptable. So don't throw away the click. It's a useful tool when you need precision. But don't make it your first teacher. Start with the song, not the machine. So, now you know exactly what to avoid on your drumming journey, you have a big problem to solve. How do you get started with song-based practice so you can start enjoying this instrument with the songs you love right from the start? Watch this next video and I'll show you exactly how you can start playing your favourite songs and building all those beginner drum skills the fun way.